A friend asked me today, what's the difference between resting and laziness? It's something you have to go with your gut about. My cats, are they lazy or are they resting? He knows I'm talking about him. It's amazing. That's Star-Lord, by the way. They're resting, and here's how I know that. Because they're hunters, and they're kind of like, well, that's a very fat cheetah, but they're like cheetahs, where they rest and they rest and they rest so that they can bolt when it's time to hunt and take down a zebra or an antelope. And those creatures run fast, so the cat has to be so much faster. Well, at least faster than the weakest of the herd. But they're hunters. And so, yeah, they live a very lazy life until it's like 2 a.m. and they get the crazies. If they're indoor cats, they're doing this because they have this instinct to run around at a certain time, to mimic hunting. And then they rest and they rest and they rest. If you have healthy, normal cats, they don't run around all the time. Well, maybe the kittens do. Maybe certain breeds too, but they do rest a lot. Now, humans, we have all kinds of complications because, of course, we have this prefrontal cortex that allows us to think about thinking. And so we can judge our own thoughts as being bad. We can judge our own actions as being bad. And if you listen to a lot of advice, even if it's self-help, even if it's well-meaning, one could be confused. So I've learned to kind of search my thinking when I do feel what might be tiredness, because it might be, or it might be laziness. I really ask myself, like with the snooze button, is this 5 minutes really going to make me feel more rested? No. Is my lying here on the sofa for 10 more minutes really going to make me feel more rested? Sometimes it's yes. And sometimes I'll be like, Lisa, please lie down for a little bit. It's enough. I have to tell myself. I shouldn't scold in that scolding tone, but tell myself, rest. Laziness, I don't believe there's such a thing as I'd rather rest than do the thing. I think laziness is an attempt to avoid some sort of hurt. The hurt of, well, it could be the hurt of exerting oneself, but what's so hard about exerting oneself? We're human beings, we're animals, we have to exert ourselves in order to survive. Well, when we go out into the world and we have to face other people, there's a risk of rejection. And for many of us, that is far too painful to handle. Rejection is awfully painful. I'm talking about, if you're really sensitive, I'm really sensitive. Somebody not laughing at your joke at the cash register. Then I have to make up an excuse in my head, well, they're hard of hearing, or it's a generational thing, or who knows why a person doesn't laugh at my joke. But I tend to take it very personally. I know the 4 agreements, don't take it personally, but I do because I'm still human and working on myself. Laziness could be avoidance of rejection. It could be avoiding failing because of all the criticism that comes with failing, whether it's from ourselves or others. It could be avoiding success, because if we're successful, then people will expect us to be successful all the time. And that might be beyond our self-concept. I'm not a successful person. I'm not good at blank. This was just lucky. Laziness could be imposter syndrome, protection from having to feel, you know what imposter syndrome is, right? Anytime I look at a good review for one of my classes or a great review on my book, Diary of a Fat Girl. Diary of a Fat Girl, available on Amazon. There are some fantastic reviews there, and very few bad ones. And I'm uncomfortable reading my good reviews because I feel like I'm not a good writer. My story's not interesting. Wow, I must have really fooled them. If they only knew the real me who's just not good at... Oh, man. When I say it out loud, it's like, again with the self-beatings? So laziness could be a form of avoiding the discomfort of success, failure, rejection, criticism. And rest is something nice we do for ourselves when we realize we could use a rest. Imagine that. Take a rest. I used to be a heavy napper. Back in my sicker days, I was an oversleeper, a snooze alarm hitter, a napper. I used to not want to say yes to social engagements because I'd rather stay home, overeat, and nap or sleep. So it was indulging in an addiction and indulging in avoidance. I love when my cats walk around. There's Xander. Bye, Xander. He's not going to do anything fantastic like hunt. He's going to do Dinky from the Sinky. He must have been a fisher in a past life. But I don't want to tell you, you should start doing math when you think it's time to rest. Like, because I do that. You hear me do it right here in the videos. Okay, I got up really early and I did my hour and a half. And then I I took care of 7 animals and outsourced animals. Then I shopped for my mother. Then I fought with my mother. Then I apologized to my mother. And then I crunched numbers. Then I prepared for school. Then I did this. Then I did that. Then I cleaned and organized this. And then, like I have to do math to justify resting. Instead of being in touch with how I feel. Mindfulness can help with that too. What is mindfulness? It's just a non-judgmental noticing of what is present in your mind and your surroundings. In your body and your surroundings. See, I even avoid body feelings there. Can we tell when we're sleepy and we need some rest? And when we just need to push ourselves a little harder or give ourselves permission to do it at a time when we have more mental energy and do something else instead. But I'm like that. I feel like, I had to have earned rest. I needed to do a thing to earn rest, to earn a break, to earn a vacation. And, look, I'm 58 years old. Is he going to go chase a thing? No. He moved to lie down next to me. Not chasing zebras. I lost my train of thought. I do this in class too. Like, was anyone listening? What was I saying? It's good if somebody can answer. And if not, maybe I needed to change topic. So, what is laziness? It's I don't feel like it, maybe. Maybe you just don't feel like it. And I think it's okay to indulge in that sometimes, but what will your life look like if you give in to, I just don't feel like it every time you don't feel like it? I don't want to live that way anymore. So learn to to take an inventory of how your body feels. Be kind to yourself. Take a deep breath. If you need the rest, rest. If you're being lazy, I would urge you 9 out of 10 times to not let that be the thing you do. Being lazy. Just push yourself. You'll feel better once you do the thing. We never really regret doing the thing. I never regretted blogging or going to the gym. I still don't. I don't regret cooking for myself instead of doing something quick and easy. So chase that feeling rather than the avoidance feeling. Chase the accomplishment feeling, or even the well-rested feeling if you truly need rest. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, even if it's a heart. It helps me. Trying to get the word out about how to live a more peaceful, happy life, how to be healthy, how not to give up, how to live the succulent life, how you can reclaim your health no matter what your age. And I pray that you get enough rest and you overcome laziness most of the time.